I rarely get on my phone after a game, but we had a minute before we came down here, and I talked to Angie, my wife, and first thing she said was how happy she was for me and our team. And very quickly out of her mouth came how bad she felt for Marvin Menzies, who is like family to us. And then she went on to say, but Marvin's day will come, and it will, and it will. He will get players, he will love them and teach them, and he will win. This was a game where not many people, including our own fans, thought we had a chance at halftime. And anything we could do to hurt ourselves, we did. And they were brimming with confidence. And we found a way to muster the fight that you have to have a chance. You got to fight. And my only comment was, it was nothing about, here's what we're going to do with X's and O's. It's fight and have some pride in the name on the front of your jersey, in this program. This program has done too many good things. And I said, I know I'm going to start two guys. I wound up starting the guys that normally start for us, but I didn't until I talked to the staff. I said, I'm starting you, Zylan, because you brought fight. It's got to be productive fight in the second half. And I'm starting Dakari. And Dakari and Diero didn't want to go home. And I think Dakari tried too hard in the first half. But he's a prince of a man, and nobody competes harder, nobody's for the team more than he is. And we found a way to make a basket, and then they did what we did in the first half. They couldn't make a basket. So we're appreciative that we're playing tomorrow, and we're going to be determined to play 40 minutes like we did the last 20.
For Malik or Dakari, that first half, was it more of what UNLV was doing defensively, or was it just you guys not converting?
Yeah, I feel like it was more of us. I know I had 3 turnovers in the first half, and they really get out and run here. So that's something we talked about. We harped on not turning the ball over, and as a senior, as a leader, I can't do that. I have to play better for us to continue winning.
Dakari, what kind of clicked in the team in the second half? Because you came out in the second half and you really didn't do anything different in the first half. You were kind of sleepwalking through it, and then Trey hit that 3. But what clicked in terms of, did you guys just decide, you know what, we got nothing to lose, we might as well just play, or what happened there?
Well, when Trey hit that 3, instead of Germ just trying to lay the ball up over 3 people, he kicked it up to me. I made an extra pass, and he hit that 3, and that's just how we need to play if we want to continue winning. And so that's what we did.
Go ahead.
Malik, obviously, offensively, it was trouble for you guys in the first half, but second half, from a defensive standpoint, do you think that the impact you guys had, particularly against Christian Jones, was a huge factor for you guys to turn things around in that second half?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. Fish honestly just told us to be more tough in the second half, and it all started with guarding with 5, and that really turned the game around for us offensively, because that creates momentum. So we just followed Coach Fisher because we know he has experience, and we could trust him. So that's what it came down to for us. Just being tough, bowing our backs, having some grit in the game, and not playing with some soft. So.
Over here, guys.
Malik, did you feel that you were a little soft up until maybe the final 10 minutes or so, as Coach talked about a couple of guys that had the fight, didn't mention your name, but then you definitely seemed to turn it up in the last 10 minutes. So give us that perception, and also what was said at halftime.
I wouldn't necessarily say I was playing soft. I just wasn't grabbing the ball. I was boxing out and doing what I could to get the ball, and I would get my hands on it, and I just couldn't get it. So, I was for sure. I stepped my game up in the second half, so I wouldn't necessarily put myself in soft, but I wouldn't put myself in aggressive either. So, and at halftime, those were literally the words that was spoken, soft and aggressive. And that was our transition to get us to win this game. So that's what it came down to.
Coach, you went through something similar in your first season that Marvin's going through. What is it about him that tells you he's going to turn it around somebody like you have?
I've known Marvin for 18 years now, and I've watched how he handles every situation. He's tough-minded, he's fair, he's relentless in his approach to recruit, and this game it starts with recruiting. You need players. Everybody needs players. And he was working with less than a half-filled deck. Nobody's fault, but that's a fact. Tonight, we benefited from that. When they had limited numbers and they got in foul trouble, Mooring fouled out, and to see a team compete like they did for 40 minutes tells you that he has the respect of his club, that they listen and they care. And that will win for you. Marvin can recruit, and Marvin can coach. So you combine the two, I'm convinced he will be successful.
Go ahead.
Coach, can you give us an update on Darrell Williams and also with his injury, and also talk about what kind of lift he gave to the team? It was like you had a point guard out there for really the first time all season.
I hope Darrell's okay. He said that he dove for a loose ball and hit and kind of jammed his head, and so I think his neck is where he's having some issues. I think he's okay. I'm sure he's going to be sore and stiff. But you're spot on. I told the team after the game, I said, this is not about individuals, so I don't like to single out, but I have to. Darrell Williams was such a huge factor in our winning this game tonight. And he didn't try to do anything extraordinary. He just tried to make the right play and be relentless with how he played. I think so often we let up just enough, whether it's consciously, usually not consciously, just a little bit because of a negative play. And you can't do that. But your point, Darrell made the right play. He made some plays off a ball screen and hit a guy on a lift. He made a play off a ball screen and took it to the rim and got an and one. He made some plays that you win with that were not just, you didn't say, well, they got lucky. He made the right play and right read, and we got easy looks as a result of that.
Coach, obviously a tale of two halves for both these teams tonight. Can you talk about your approach going into the overtime period after coming off a solid second half for you guys?
We just talked about, let's get the tip. We wanted to run a particular look to throw the ball inside. We got the ball and we got a basket to start the overtime. So we had a positive feel right out of the gate starting the overtime. And, all of us knew we got lucky. We got lucky that we were able to come back. Rarely do you come back from as big a deficit as we had. Because usually you're playing so bad, so poorly, that you don't have the toughness to come back. And, you or somebody talked about Malik and not having toughness. He had 12 rebounds, and he looked, body language was better as the game went on. And it's not easy. But if it were easy, we'd have 1 million people that would say, give me a scholarship. And you give them to the smartest and best looking. And we got a group of guys that care. We haven't played great this year. You know that. And we've had games like this where we've had moments where we played okay and moments where we've looked god-awful. And we did just enough to get ourselves a victory today. And at this stage of what we do, that's most important because we're playing. We're going to be playing tomorrow. And we'll be excited to play. We're going to have to play well for more than 20 minutes. And I think that we will.
Coach, you get down by 21 points at one point. What do you say to the guys, or how do you get them to believe that they can come back and win this game down 21?
It's not a time for a lot of pep talk. We talked about what I said before. Have some pride in who you are. Believe that you're good. Make one play. And I think what helped us out of the gate in the second half, and it wasn't right out of the gate. I looked up and I asked Mark, my son, what was the halftime score? And he says exactly what it is right now. And that was about 4 or 5 minutes in. And then when Trey made that three, we've been over the game. It felt there was a little bit of a lift finally. It shouldn't be that way, but I thought our defense was a little bit better, a little bit smarter. And again, when Mooring got foul trouble and fouled out, they're playing too many minutes for their key players, but they had to. That helped us too. And I think Darryl needs to get a little Q&A for him because he was so instrumental in what we did.
Go ahead.
Can I ask Darryl a question?
Either one. Just
Darryl, just give us an update on what happened on that play and how you're doing.
I just saw a loose ball, and I've always been taught to just dive on the loose balls and go for every loose ball that you can. So I tried to dive on a loose ball, and another UNLV player was coming in, and my head kind of smashed into somebody's back, and it kind of just flexion downward. And the right side of my neck's just a little sore, but I'll be all right.
go ahead. You got a follow-up?
Coach was talking earlier, and the players were talking about what happened in the second half, and a lot of talk about heart and not being soft. Did you, as a senior, just say, I don't want this to be my last game?
Yeah, of course, as a senior, you always think about that last game. And me coming off the bench, my job is always to bring energy to the team and just make the right play for others. I just try to go in the game and observe the floor, make the right play. If it's me taking a layup, if it's me hitting somebody for a wide open three, a dunk, whatever I can do to help the team win, I'm going to do. And that's been me from day one.
Let's go over here first. Then we'll come back.
Coach, I just want to follow up on the point you made. You said that you guys haven't played well this year, obviously, with the 6th seed coming into this tournament, probably one of the favorites earlier on. Pinpoint the reasoning why you don't think that you guys have not played well up until this point.
We've played well. We haven't played well enough. We haven't played well for 40 minutes. I said to our team, and maybe to Mark Ziegler, if you give me 10 points to use any way I want, we'll get 4 more wins in league play. And now we're fighting for first in the last game instead of fighting for the play-in to stay out of the play-in game. But that we didn't. So through 18 games, we weren't the best team in the league. We were picked first, but we weren't the best team in the league. We were picked first maybe because we were 16-2 last year, maybe because we've been good lately. And oftentimes people say, well, they're good, they're supposed to be good. Yeah, they're going to be good, they got these guys back. But you have to play. And nothing is given to you. And we haven't played well enough. But we've played in spots well enough. But we haven't been consistently what you have to be. And will we be that tomorrow for 40 minutes? I hope so. They get harder as you go. But we'll have a chance to do that tomorrow. And Darryl is the epitome, and I've said this before, of what you hope to have in a student athlete. You go into med school eventually. He cares. He cares about the team. He cares about winning more than he cares about himself and stats. And you win doing that. He gave us a huge lift tonight. He knows that. Our team knows that. And when we've had games where we didn't come back, we didn't get that lift from somebody. Somebody's got to make a play or two for you. And tonight we did, and he was the ringleader on guys making plays for us. He started it. Trey made the three, but he started it with his energy and intelligence when he came in. So hopefully we'll get more of that from everybody tomorrow.
Over here.
Coach, it's been 2 months since you played Boise State, but just curious your thoughts on the matchup tomorrow.
They're good. The worm has turned. We won every game for a while. I didn't think they were ever going to beat us. And now they've started to win these games in different fashions. They beat us up pretty good at third place in the first game. We played you. If you watch our first game, the first 10 or 12 minutes, we looked like the best team in the league, but we couldn't sustain it. They made plays. They ran by us. They beat us down. A year ago, we had the game won, 7-9 points ahead with a minute or two to go, and couldn't make a free throw. They did to us what we did to them when they first came into the league. They're a good team. They're well coached. They got a nice blend of youth and veterans, and they make you guard because they can make shots. So they've been tough on us.